Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Jackpot Jen here. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be answering all the burning questions you guys have for me. I had recently asked for you guys to give me questions that you want to know about me, and I'm going to be answering those so that you guys can get to know the girl behind the screen a little bit better. Like, I'm going to answer slot questions, then personal questions. So we're going to start with slot questions that you guys asked. So first, will your slot channel eventually become your full-time job? I would love for that to happen. Here's the thing though, if the slot channel were to become the full-time job, I would really like it to be more integrated with the travel aspect. I feel like the slot content for me is really easy because there's no editing, and it seems to be what people really enjoy to watch is like me playing slots. But in reality, what I like is like the travel, the whole experience of like staying in a nice room, going to the spa. And something that I'm noticing, like as I've been doing this consistently every day for like 2 months now, the thing that preoccupies me the most doing this long term is like the effects it could have, not only financially, obviously like having to gamble every day, but also mental health wise, because normally I like to have like my meditation, my nervous system regulation routine, and I feel like I've been cranking out like a lot of slot stuff, or really centering around slots and casinos, which it's like, it takes a toll on you mentally. I don't know if you're supposed to have this many dopamine spikes in a day. So that is my main concern, learning how to manage the overstimulation that comes along with gambling. And it's like, if you scroll through your phone, I mean, we all do it, right? Like whether you're on TikTok, whether you're watching YouTube channels, it's that same feeling of like almost numbing out. And I feel like these last 2 months, I've been so excited about the slot channel, but I'm coming off of this high and being like, okay, let's look at sustainability, especially for mental health. So that's a little bit of like honest talk, especially for those of you that are asking like, how do I start my YouTube channel, or like tips on starting a YouTube channel or a slots channel. Keep that in mind. Like, gambling every single day is probably not like good mental health wise. I would incorporate some kind of offset, you know, because it's like I'll even notice me, I don't know how these bigger channels do it, honestly. The Vegas Mats and the Lady Lucks, who are showing up every single day or gambling every single day. Like, do they even get a vacation from gambling? There's a couple funny questions in here. Slots at max volumes increase your odds to win by 8%. Do you do this? Also, switching denoms is huge. I think there's so many little like theories and myths that people have when it comes to the slot machines. It really depends. I want there to be sound on the machine, obviously, because it's like engaging and stimulating. You're gonna sit down at a machine for longer. If if you find a machine where the sound's broken, the likelihood of you staying at that machine is very low. Do I think that impacts winning? Like, I've won on machines that have no sound or the volume is broken. And something that I don't like, especially being at the casino filming by myself, I don't really like to draw attention to myself. So I don't like the sound to be too loud, because then you get into a bonus and then everybody stops and is watching you. And you know, I'm just like, oh, I'd rather win in silence. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people comment on my videos. It's like, you are monotone and unenthused. I've been made fun of my whole life for being monotone, and honestly, I wish I could be like over the top and excited. Like, on an internal level, I have that. Like, I get overstimulated, and I feel like only a select few people have seen that, and I feel very overwhelmed by myself when I get like in those high energy spurts and I know I overwhelm over other people. So I think it's like a defense mechanism that I've built where I'm just like very even keel, and people think I'm very monotone, and they'll meet me and they'll be like, I can't even see you having like a major emotional outburst. And it's so funny because I'm like, I have tons of emotions. I have a lot of emotional outbursts. I just think that I'm like maybe suppress them, you know? And I remember like my hairdresser when I was younger, I loved her and she always did a good job, and she'd always get upset with me because I'd never get excited when I'd see the final result. I'd be like, I love it. I'm just never gonna be the person that's gonna be like, oh my god, my hair, oh my god. And I wish I could be, because I feel like I let a lot of people down when I'm not like bursting with excitement. So for the people who are like, this girl sounds like she's not excited, this girl sounds like she's so bored, I'm not. I just feel like I'm just not an emotive person. I don't know, I wish I could be, I wish I could be, but that's the reality. What made me decide that I want to be a slots player and a YouTuber? So I've been doing social media for a very long time. Back when I played golf, it was kind of the emergence of social media coming onto the scene, and it was a little bit crazy because you work your whole life to get to a certain level. And at the point that I was starting out in my professional golf career was when Instagram was taking off, and you got all these people who were not at the level that I was, so to speak, and they're taking off via Instagram. And I want to say I was in both things. Like I realized the importance of it. I was surrounded by a lot of people who were like haters. Because like when we were on tour, I played on the Symetra tour, there was a lot of people who we didn't really have the time to dedicate to social media, because you're out there, you're like, the grind was real. And especially at our level, where we're really not at the top level, we're still in the like developmental tour. I don't know what it's called now. They get new sponsors and they change it, but back then it was called the Symetra tour. It's like the web.com and again, web.com doesn't even exist anymore. I don't know what it's called now. I'm so far removed from the golf world that I'm not, is it like the Corn Ferry tour now? Something like that. So I think, yeah, you're grinding so hard because you're trying to make it to that next level. Then you have these girls out here making tons of money, just being like hot online, which I wasn't necessarily a hater. I kind of saw the importance of both, and I tried to integrate the two. So I was like, whichever one takes. So that was my first initiation into working with social media, getting my name out there, growing my Instagram account. I think that Instagram account, I'm not even going to share all the stuff because I don't necessarily want an influx of people to be finding all these accounts that I've like left for dead, especially the golf one, because I started brand new. After I quit golf, I started brand new. I had built that one up to like 40,000 followers, which again, in the grand scheme of it, like some people comment and they're like, how were you this big influencer golfer and nobody's ever heard of you? I never said I was like a famous influencer. And you can have 40,000 subscribers. I had a YouTube channel that had 100,000 subscribers. Some people in the comments know me from those days, and they'll say something like, oh, I used to watch your tarot and astrology channel. I doubt anybody knows me from my golf days, because again, I wasn't even at the LPGA level. It wasn't like I was on TV. And you know, there's like influencers out there that I have no idea, and they could have millions of followers. So I say that I've grown my accounts and I've been able to kind of monetize my platforms, like whether it's me doing hypnotherapy or talking about manifestation, which is like another passion of mine, doing the tarot, doing the astrology, doing all the spiritual stuff, I've been able to use social media as like a medium to get myself out there. So doing YouTube, I wanted to do like travel, but it's like, okay, travel's such a broad spectrum. Then you look at like the slot community, which I recently got into, and I just saw the gap. I was like, okay, I love watching the Lady Lucks, the Vegas Mats, all these people, but like what I'd actually love to see is their comps. I'd actually love to see their room tours, like what they're doing when they're not gambling, how they're utilizing their comps, like if they're going on a cruise, if they're going on this vacation. Like I kind of want to be there for those things, because I'm like, they probably have sick comps, like they're probably getting super cool stuff. And I realized, I'm like, that's the gap, right? That's the gap that I can show up and kind of not only play slots, but also showcase cool behind the scenes, like what I want to see. And for the people who are wanting to start a channel, wanting to start social media, that's always my first piece of advice. Like, who's your ideal audience? Your ideal audience is always a version of you. So it's like, what do you want to see that you're not seeing? And this is kind of, I used to study a lot about like creating a brand or creating products, and it's like you want to create something that solves a problem, right? So I look at content the same way. I want to find the gap. What am I not seeing online that I would like to see, and how can I show up in that space and fill that gap, right? Because I'm going to assume that there's other people who like the same things that I do, who want to see the same things that I do, and they're not finding that content. Because I can go and watch cruise content, which I love to do, but maybe those cruisers aren't doing the gambling side of things, right? So it's finding that kind of happy medium, finding your community. I brought up the golfer thing. Somebody asked me, didn't know you were a golfer until that interview you posted yesterday. What tour did you play on, and what would your handicap have been? I know pros don't typically have handicaps. Do I still play professionally? I do not. I haven't touched a golf club in 2 years. It makes me a little bit sad, but the way that I look at it is like, I always tell people this. I'm like, I imagine you were in this like really passionate relationship. You're married for 17 years, and it was a lot of ups and downs. You dedicate, like you really just had this fire and this passion, and then you decide like it's just not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out. This relationship isn't healthy for the both of us, and you know, we've gotta go our separate ways. And then you wanna come back in and you wanna, oh, but we can still be friends. And then every time you reconnect with that person, you're like, I think we could, like, why did we break up? We could make this work. So I always joke, I'm like, that's how I feel about golf. It's like, even when I go play golf, it's like, I can't just play for fun. I can't just be friends with golf, right? Like every time I go play, I start wanting to be like, I could do this again. Like I could dedicate, like, why did I ever quit? Why didn't I do this? And then it'll be like a week of me being back, and I'll be like, okay, no, I remember, like this just, it's not the same. So I had started playing pickleball, and I was like, you know what, I'm dating somebody new. It's not the same thing as the first love of my life, but we're having a good time. We're getting to know each other. It's not as intense and passionate as before, but we're trying something new out. I'd say, God, my handicap now, I don't even want to know. But at the time when I was in my prime, it was +1, +2. Does YouTube pay well, typically for 10K subscribers a month? Have you ever had days that you never got a hand pay? Oh yeah, definitely had days that I don't get a hand pay. But here's the thing, and I feel like here's the misconception. Like I bet 10 to 15. If you're betting in the 10, 15, $20 range, you can lose really big, but you're probably like, you're more likely to get a hand pay, and that's why you see me play those. That's like my sweet spot. The $10 to $15 bets, it's like not as aggressive. I mean, I love hitting like a $30, $37 bet sometimes, you know, once you get like a little bit up, that you have some wiggle room. Starting off on those $10 to $15 bets, I know like I could go down 500, but then I hit a bonus, and I'm more than likely gonna be, if not at a hand pay, near a hand pay. So you watch these people who are betting like $50 a spin or $250 a spin or $1,000 a spin. Of course they're gonna get hand pays. So I think the misconception is like they're always winning. Like, nobody wins that much at the casino. I don't know if they're net winning, you know, like in my mind, I'm not net winning. Some days I have really good days. I think what I struggle with more is walking away. But again, that's like, now that I have this channel, it's been more managing that, like making sure like, okay, walking away instead of chasing or going on a run. But when I was not filming, I would definitely go on runs because I wasn't coming every day to the casino, you know, I wasn't coming to film videos. It'd be like a one-off thing that, like, if I'm on a vacation or I'm staying for the weekend, I'm playing a little bit, and I get up, I'm gonna go on a run, I'm gonna chase that win. Sometimes it's worked out well for me, sometimes it has not. So how much money am I, like, here's the thing. I used to have the YouTube channel where I had 100K subscribers, and the month that I had my very first month, and I'm like, that can be a whole separate video. Let me know if you want to see that, like me make a video where I break down how much money I made in just like the first couple weeks being monetized, under 10K subscribers. It was like, I would consider a good month when I had 100K subscribers. So obviously the tarot and astrology ads are not where the money's at. The casino ads definitely pay a lot, like CPM, clicks per minute or whatever. Yeah, I want to make a whole separate video on that, talking about the monetization part, just to be also really transparent with you guys, because again, like I said, that's what I feel like I was missing in let's say the content that I watch. Like, I watch influencers. I want to see the perks of being an influencer. Like, whether you're playing with fake money, real money, I don't actually care about that. I want to see like what perks you get being an influencer. And I think I would really like to, I'm sure they can't share how much they're making via sponsorships, but I'd like to stay transparent in a lot of what the casino offers me, which goes to like, who's funding my bankroll? Me. So like I said, I do social media, and when I say I do social media, I do hypnotherapy and I do mindset coaching, but I promote my services on social media. I have a following on social media, so I have like passive income streams where I sell hypnotic meditations. I will have like a how to like take yourself through your own hypnosis course that I sell, and so I get a lot of passive income streams. And before this, I was doing really well for myself. I'm in a very privileged position in life in general, so not only that, I have like my other income streams, so I fund my own thing. And I look at this sort of like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I look at it as an investment, you know. It's like, this has the potential to be lucrative. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think anybody would sign up to do this if they weren't trying to turn it into like a job or a business. I don't know if that gets me canceled for saying that, but let's be real here. I look at it as an investment, and I want to see some kind of return on it, or some kind of movement, if I'm gonna keep investing my money into this, you know, if I'm gonna keep spending my money. And the day that I decide that it's done, like that I'm done, I promise you I will go to like a remote island far away from a casino, get it all out of my system, and never gamble again. So that's why I say, like, gamble responsibly. I think that casinos set this up. Like, if I were to recommend anybody getting into this, I'd say don't. Unless you have a really strong backing where you could like take the loss, don't get into it. When I say so a lot of my videos, you'll see me talk about free play. A lot of that I've built up. This year I've had like a really good year. I've had a lot of really big wins. And if you watch how I play a lot back. I go back and forth. I start betting, I raise my bets, and I'll get a bit aggressive with it when I'm up. So because I've had so many like really big wins and I've had a lot of that back and forth, like especially at Hard Rock, I've stimulated a lot of the valuable player points. So this year my status has been really good. I've been getting a lot of good free play perks. So that's what I take advantage of. The days that I have free play, I will come in and film just to maximize. A lot of times when you see me say like I'm playing with free play, that's the situation. I normally have like 500 in free play, and depending on how I do with that free play, a lot of times I'll bring in like 500 of my own money, or I just try to maximize on it. And some days if I'm like trying to fit in videos every single day, I will maximize. Also have like rental properties, and that's been I've had like a nightmare situation happen recently that has really been kind of a jolt. So, you know, I'm realizing like, okay, things need to be financially managed. So that's where it's like offsetting it into maybe more travel, whatever you guys would like to see there. But yeah, it's really being pragmatic and realistic about like the financial investment, and knowing that it is a risk and it is a gamble, and it could go in your favor and it could not go in your favor. It's definitely been a journey having to reach out to casinos, having to get permission to film, being like almost nagging. Like sometimes you have to throw on, if you've emailed them and they don't respond, I will throw on like urgent that I have to film. I do think it helps now that I have a bit of a following, because if I send that urgent message, then they're gonna be like, okay, they act a little bit quicker. But otherwise, before I even had subscribers, it would take me weeks, months to hear back from people. And the difference with Hard Rock is I have really good status at Hard Rock, so they treated me a little bit better. So if you're somebody who has like not a lot of status, your social media account isn't doesn't have a lot of subscribers, it might be a little bit more difficult. But I know people who have like good status, no subscribers, they've gotten permission to film. So keeping that in mind, they want it to benefit them. Like if you're going to, they don't give you money to film. Like nobody's ever offered me money or things like that. But if you're going to showcase their stuff, they do, I think, want it to benefit them. Because when you see the list, the contract that they send you that basically says you can only bring an iPhone, you can only film with an iPhone, you can't have any setup, you can't have XYZ, you have to always tag them, all these like stipulations that it's like you can tell that they're very, they don't really need the advertisement, you know? That's why when people are like, oh, casinos are paying these people, I'm sure like the big dogs, like the really big players, yeah, they're getting paid appearance fees. Maybe they're getting cut free play deals, but probably because they're also like whales, like they're big spenders. So why would they not get free play? Even if I didn't film and I was like a really big spender coming in and like gambling 50,000 a day, doing $250 spins, I would probably be able to negotiate a lot of free play as well. Like, I don't think that's necessarily specific to influencers, but if you got 1 million subscribers, I'm sure casinos are like paying them appearance fees or sweetening up their deals. I don't doubt that. But me, at 12,000 subscribers, they don't do anything for me. Undying question. There's one question that everybody asks me, and I'm sure you can guess what it is. Am I single? Am I taken? Actually, I like how this one person put it. They were like, what's wrong with you? Oh, what's wrong with you that you don't have a love in your life? So there could be a lot wrong with me. Like, it probably is me, but one, I think it's hard. I think the dating culture now is like, it's not very easy. And here's the thing, I grew up with like a wonderful father who has provided me with a lot, and he's taught me a lot. He's set me up for, both of my parents have really set me up for success, and they've both been very clear on like, listen, if marriage, if a person in your life doesn't add value, why would I stress myself out? And I feel like as a successful independent woman, and I hate that, because of course I want to be like soft, nurturing, and with somebody, but I don't want to feel like a relationship is like a chore. I want somebody who adds value to my life. I want somebody who makes me feel relaxed and at ease. And I do think that because of the success and the lifestyle that I'm able to, let's say, afford myself, it makes it really hard for like relationships that I have been in or people that I have been interested in. I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are like, you have to come back down to reality, and I'm like, whose reality? Whose reality do I have to come back down to? Because like, this is my reality. It's been a blend of finding that, and then also I had 2 back-to-back like not so great relationships where I feel like I did prioritize the love only to be like stressed and anxious all the time. So I don't know, maybe I'm in a phase where I'm a little bit disillusioned by relationships, and I do resent questions like that, like, what's wrong with you that you don't have a love in your life? Because it is this societal pressure of like, if you're single or you're not in a relationship as a woman, there's something wrong with you. But like, listen, I was playing golf until I was 26, so I think those are like the formative years where you find somebody. And even then, it's like, you know, I'm in my 30s now, and I have a lot of friends that are in unhappy relationships that got married in their 20s, and now they're getting divorces. And that's where it's like, I don't know, my priority isn't love and relationships. I would love to find somebody, but I kind of want it to be somebody that is able to adapt to, we like the same things. I want it to be somebody who likes to travel, who's adventurous, who's a risk taker, who sees my vision for things and isn't like, oh, you need to be this certain way. Change your whole life, you know, change your whole life to fit some kind of standard. I don't know, it's just not high on my priority list. I still have hope that there's like some kind of soulmate out there for me, but listen, as I get older, I just don't even like, maybe I'm more cynical on like, I don't even delude myself with like, you'll find your perfect person. Everybody has their person. You're gonna find your person. I'm like, okay, I think I had to go through a phase where I confronted, maybe I won't. So then I have to make sure that I am super happy and content on my own, that I feel really fulfilled, that I'm surrounded with like such an amazing community, which I am. And the day that that person shows up, or a person, you know, because I also look at it like I could meet the love of my life, and then after 5 years, like they're no longer the love of my life. I don't know, my take. But yeah, I'm single and I'm straight. I like men, so I know a lot of people ask that too. So basic things about me: my name's Jen. I'm from Tampa area. I grew up in Bradenton, but my mom's side of the family is from the Dominican Republic. So yes, a lot of you asked me if I'm Latina. I am Latina. And I used to spend my summers over there in campamentos in Santo Domingo, Clunaco, La Bocha. If you know, you know. Those are like my favorite summers. It's how I learned how to speak Spanish. Tengo acento de gringa, pero puedo entender todo y puedo tener una conversación completamente. Entonces, sí, soy muy orgullosa de ser latina. Aunque todo el mundo cree que soy gringa, me ven, todos los latinos piensan que soy como puro gringa. O si creen que tengo algo de latina, entonces piensan que soy como un no sabo. Pero yo sí sabo, ¿ok? Yo sí sé cómo hablar español, entiendo todo. Tal vez hablo con un acento, pero lo hablo completo, ¿ok? Y puedo hablar como bien dominicana. So yes, Latina, proud Latina. And I'm gonna get to go to the DR, Puerto Plata, on my next cruise, Virgin Voyages, which is gonna be a Vegas map cruise, and I'm gonna vlog it, okay? I'm so excited about this. I don't know how my posting schedule is gonna be, because I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to film before I go, and I want to save money for being able to gamble on the ship. But yeah, Vegas Mat Cruise, I'm super excited. Somebody actually asked me if I would be interested in collabing with them. I would love that. I would never like impose though. I booked this cruise before I even started my channel. So if you were to ask me who's your favorite slot channel, Vegas Mat. I love Vegas Mat and crew. There's just something about how real they are, and I know people don't like that he complains, but I actually love that, because I love the term, like I think I was captured by them when I watched him play, and he referred to like a bad bonus as a sando, because I was like, oh my god, that is so accurate. I can't tell you the amount of times I've gotten bonuses and they're just complete sandos, complete and utter sandos, and you're just so angry at it. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, he's so negative, he complains so much, but that's kind of my favorite part about it, because it's so realistic, at least for me. Like, I don't know anybody who comes to the casino and hits a bonus, it makes like double their bet, and it's like, oh my god, well, we're having fun. Like, that's just not the type of gambler I am. I try to rein it in sometimes for the channel, but I mean, listen, that's why I like his channel. I'm like, it's so funny. They lose, but he makes it like funny and entertaining. I think their whole cruise. So I'm actually really excited to just go on this cruise. I booked it before I even started this slot channel, so I would never impose on like trying to like get a collab with them or trying to do anything. I'm just gonna go and document my experience and hopefully get to like chat with them and just, I don't know, have a good time, get to see it live in action. So I don't know, but I would love to collab with them if it was natural and fluid, you know what I'm saying? So also, guys, if you're interested in cruising, a comp cruise yourself, I've recently partnered with You Are Comped, they've given me an affiliate link, and if you are interested, it is free to sign up. All you have to do is provide your offers from, let's say you travel with the Royal Caribbean and you have status with Royal Caribbean, or you come to Hard Rock Tampa, you have status with Hard Rock Tampa, whatever casino that you go to, whatever you have status with, if you upload your offers, you sign up for URCompt. You can use the link in my description box, and you will get your comps or your offers from anywhere you have status. Then you can see what your offers potentially are. Comp matches, especially if it's like, so like how I would use it is, say I have status with Royal, I have status with Celebrity. I'm probably not going to use URCompt for one of those. I would use it for like MSC. If I wanted to test out MSC or Norwegian, I'm going to use URCompt offer to go try it out. I would use URCompt for that. Or if I wanted to go to Vegas, there's a lot of like property locations that you can check out. So make sure, if that's something you're interested in checking out, it's totally free to sign up. Use my link. Follow me on my influencer page over there so that you can stay up to date with future events where I might be hosting some cruises myself. So if you want to stay in the know on that, go follow me over on the URCompt page. So that's it for questions today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got to know me a little bit better. I'm sure I didn't even scratch the surface on some of the questions that you have, but be sure to leave them in the comments, and I might do a little part 2 or sprinkle in the information in all of these videos. So yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that hype button, and I'll see you guys in one of my next videos. Bye.